let's just sew whatever. Hello everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how I made this super cute little Valora bag. It still has a bow, but I did these 3D balloons with little Mickey heads inside. I don't know, I just need to feel creative, you know? Sometimes we need that. So I hope you'll join me in sewing it. I do have a cutting video for it if you're interested, and yeah, let's get to making it. So I'm gonna get started on this bag by first working on the balloon applique pieces. While I have while I have pink thread on the machine. I'll do that first. I need to grab a nameplate so I don't forget, because chances are I would. So I'll get that ready. And I'm going to start just stitching these on. Stitch length of 4 will be good. And I'm just going slow, and I hold the turn wheel as I'm sewing when I do applique, so that I can prevent anything from going faster than I really need it to. Freaking cat, man. Evermore, stop it. Stop it. Oh. Okay. Stopping the stitching right at the last one, and then I'm pulling on these two, bringing them to the back so that I can then tape. Tie. You could add tape too. All right, there's that. Oh, it's perfectly puffed. Okay, I love it. It's exciting. This is why I sew. Okay. sneaky. Using little claws. Okay. So cute. I probably could have edge coated these pieces, but just why, you know? Okay. And now I'm trying to decide, do I want to do the pink stitching for the balloons exterior, or do I want to do black and have it kind of stand out? But I think not black. Okay. So fun. Oh my gosh. I don't think I can't really tape these down. I'm trying to think of how I want to insert the glitter. Because what I can do is I can sew the bottom of all of them, leave my tails long, and then do a top, which might be the easiest way without making a big old mess. So I'm gonna do that. And I'll do pink. Okay, here we go. They're gonna overlap, but I'm okay with that. I don't want to leave too big of an opening, but I also don't want to leave it too small. Yeah, that's literally perfect. Get out of here. So I'll tie those off. All right. The glitter in here is just going to be the best part. Is there too much glitter? Probably. It's fine. Okay. So going nice and slow. When you're doing a glitter, you want to make sure that you're using a stitch length that is small enough to contain the glitter particles, because it could potentially slip through if you don't have a small enough stitch length. think I'm gonna grab a little piece of paper to create a little funnel to further not make a mess. All right, dead. Dead. So cute. Oh my gosh, come on. Okay, I was thinking how I wanted to do it. Just kind of do that. No matter what I do, it's a mess working with glitter. So that's going to be a problem no matter what. Dang it. That one's sealed. That one's sealed. Okay, great. That's good though. Yeah. Okay. It really doesn't matter. It's going to be a mess no matter what you do. Lint roller would be helpful. Okay. You don't want to add too much, but I want to add just enough. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. I'm gonna close that because I don't want anything to come out. Okay. Is it too much glitter? I don't know. I like it. I'm here for it. Okay. Too much? Okay. Too confident. Too confident. Okay, I'm starting exactly where the other one left off and closing that up. Okay. I probably should have cleaned the back as I was going. Oh, that's way too much glitter. Oh well, that's okay. Maybe I should have cleaned it out a little. You can't even see the balloon. So maybe it's better with all the glitter, but I can't have one without any glitter. So we'll just do our best to not add so much. Okay, just a dab will do ya. That's it. Okay, that's it, just a little. That's it. Step away from the glitter. All right. It's fine. It's fine. All right. I guess I could cut it because you can't even see it. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, I'm going to change my thread so I can do black lines. Okay. All right. Oh, just one line was good. Okay. Tying those off. All right. All right, I'm gonna wind 2 bobbins, change my thread, and then we'll just stick to the pink. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So now I need to make a little trapezoidal shape for the bow. Without cutting my stitches for the bow, but I think it'll still kind of cover, but I mean, I've already cut it. So if it doesn't look good, there's nothing I can do. Did I cut this wrong? No. One isn't in there, but this is big enough, it'll cover it, so it's not a big deal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch above. I've got that stuck inside. I'm gonna stitch above to keep that there. Okay, got that tied off. and then push the tail through. Okay. Okay, I think the bow works. So I'm gonna close that. I'm going to remove glitter from this. All right. Yeah, very happy with that decision. Couldn't see like anything in there. Okay. All right. Cool, 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 cool. So I'm gonna cut. Okay. Oh, much better. Okay. I'm gonna add glue to this bow area so that Evermore, stop it. So we'll leave that to set. It's cute. I like it. I don't love it as much as I thought I would. I think it's the glitter. Okay. So I'm going to sew the top of that slip pocket. I'm going to increase my stitch length back to about a 4.5. Alright, we're going to add that slip pocket on the back. That. So now on this exterior main panel, we're going to mark a 1 inch by 3 inch box on the back side. Okay. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Handles. We're gonna add 1/4 inch double-sided tape to the long raw edges. And ideally you would find your center first. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Okay. These are going to be like a little faux rolled handle, so we're going to fold it on itself and stitch from a measurement to a measurement. I think it's 3 inches. But yeah, I'm going to do 2 inches. See you later. I want just a small amount of handle sewn onto the front, so I'm very much making changes. My thread matches pretty well, so I'm just back stitching. And I'm sewing from line to line. All right, little handles. And then I like to make sure that the raw end is nice and straight. A little piece of double-sided tape along the end here so that we can place that on our main panel. So now the measurements that are in the pattern aren't really going to matter to me, unfortunately, because my handle is much smaller. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I want to find the center first. So we're going to do 2 inches from the top. No, 1.5 inches. Yeah, we'll try that. Okay, my mind, I've got a 1/2 inch seam allowance across the top. So this is going to be 1 inch from the top. No, we'll do 1.75. Thank you. .75. Find the center. Yeah. Okay. So 1.5 and 1.5. 1.5 and 1.75. 2 inches. Okay, 2 inches in from the side. There we go. 2 inches in from the side. I guess I'll just do 2 and 2. That'll be the easiest. Okay, 2 and 2. Anyway, 2 inches down, 2 inches over is how I'm doing with how I've cut this. Yes. Yes. So cute. So cute. Okay, and then make sure you got that. You got that at the top. and 2. And then if you're worried about the bottom being straight, you can lay a ruler like this, make a little L shaped. And then I'm just gonna do a 1 inch by 1 inch square. So I've made a line at the top that I will follow. And I'll keep an 1/8 inch seam allowance. And then you can do a box stitch if you would like. More thread tying. I feel like I probably have said this already, but lately sewing for me is mostly tying off threads. All right, and then we'll take away that silver marking pen. Okay, nice and simple. And then I'm gonna add a piece of double-sided tape within that 1x3 line, and I'll be taping that off later. It's just ready now. I don't know where the heck to add my nameplate, if I'm being honest. Maybe up here would be the best. So I'll go ahead and mark my 1 inch line. is, I'll hit it again. I have a skipped stitch because I was lifting my presser foot too soon. Let me know down below if my loose threads are driving you up a wall, if it's making you lose your mind. I'd love to know. Like, where's this thread coming from? It's gotta be right here. Well, if I can't get it off, it's not coming undone. Let's find out. All right. Nameplate, so I don't forget. Lately, I've really been enjoying adding a piece of foam behind my nameplate. I'm not going to do that this time, but don't worry. I wish I had. All right, center. Hey, if you're gonna wish you had, just get up and get the foam. Do that. Okay, fine. Fine. I'll do it. Okay. Alrighty. Cute. Cute. So that is that portion finished. We're going to add our D-ring connectors to our side panel. So really there isn't like a whole lot of hardware for this bag, which is pretty nice as well. I'm gonna do 2 rows of stitching. If you're worried about your fabric stretching over time, you could add a little piece of interfacing. You don't have to actually interface it, you just have it in there to prevent stretching. I'm gonna do 3 quarter inch top stitch. along either side. And then I'll also do an 1/8 inch when I sew it down. But if you don't have like a decent double-sided tape, doing that top stitch will help prevent lifting while you're waiting to sew something. We're going to add double-sided tape to the back. You could also do a hidden strap connector for this if you wanted to. We're going to fold this until I believe it is 7 inches tall. Seems right. And so I keep my tape nice and long so that I can easily place it on the side panel and then top stitch it down. Come on. Just moving a little piece of that double-sided tape. I do not like having my hardware touch double-sided tape. It used to be something I didn't care about, and then over time you realize it's not great for your hardware. Like, there's nothing that it does to your hardware, but the way it looks, not great. Like, your hardware just doesn't move freely. Okay, I like to make sure they're about the same size. And then we're going to find the center. And place that down. And if you need to make sure this is straight, you can line that up the bottom edge and then kind of press your hardware into place. And then we'll sew that down. If you need to mark out the line to stop top stitching, you can. But I'm just going to get as close as I can to my hardware, making sure I'm on the vinyl. Come down, and then we could add a rivet to that. We could either add a rivet above or below. My preference would be below. We're going to add double-sided tape up against this line here. Alrighty. And now we'll add our purse feet. I should have marked out where those go, but it's just going to be 1 inch in from the stabilizer and then the center. I am using the pronged purse feet, so I'm just making a slit to insert those into, and I want to make sure that my slits are all facing the same direction. You don't want to like beep, 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 any of those. We've got our washers, and then we'll just slide those in. Yeah, I don't think this is a vinyl I'm gonna carry. It's so pretty, but like there's inconsistencies in the glitter, and it's gonna wrinkle when I turn it. I already know. All right. Open up those prongs, and then we will use duct tape over that to prevent lifting and to prevent me cutting my hands later. Then if you wanted to top stitch along the bottom, you could, like at 1 inch all the way around or something, but I don't think it's necessary. Okay, so all of our components for the exterior are essentially ready to go. So we can start sewing it. Okay, so we're gonna fold this down. In the pattern, I have you fold the main panel, but over time I'm realizing like you really don't need to do that yet. So I'm not gonna. And even for this piece, I'm like, wait, do I fold this down? But yes, I do. All right, we've got that. And then we're gonna line this up at the bottom. Now you wanna be careful. You want to stop at a 1/2 inch and you want to sew at 1/2 inch. And you don't want to see that stitch at the top, but you want to make sure you backstitch. So for this, what's nice is I've got my interfacing there, and that's when I stop and I backstitch the beginning and the end. Trim that thread. Oh, I didn't add any tape to that. But here is where you can tape now, or you can fold it now. All right. This is so cute. Oh my God. Okay. So we'll add the other side, line that up 1/2 inch, starting at 1/2 inch backstitch. And then I stop at about 1/8 from the top, because that is a finished area there. And then we could even trim away some of this vinyl. Just a little bit. It's not gonna make like a huge difference, I'll be honest with you. But that is stunning. All right, now I'm gonna attach the bottom panel. Maybe I do this first. This is gonna get sewn same way, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So starting at 1/2 inch, back stitching. Kind of manipulate the other panel out of the way. And we're stopping at 1/2 inch. And I'll go ahead and tie this off. I can see it kind of slipping. And then we're going to be trimming a lot of this excess down. So I'll sew the bottom first. That might be easier for me. Yeah, that was easier. Okay, I probably wrote it that way. And then we'll line that up. And then we'll sew along the bottom edge and kind of trim away all that excess. Get the other side attached first. Look at that mess. Such a mess. All right, lining up the bottom seam there. No, absolutely not on this vinyl. The noise it's making alone, I'm just like, no, it's not great. It's so pretty. Okay, starting at 1/2 inch. All right, sew the bottom. And that is where we kind of close off that seam. And we'll trim the corner. trim the excess along the side. And depending on your material selection, you may not want to do that for the slip pocket. And if you do, just make sure you don't trim away the slip pocket piece, or you're going to weaken that slip pocket. And this does take some practice to get it perfect, but eventually all your lines kind of meet up to close all the holes within your bag. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and fold the side panels in. And it's going to kind of snatch the side panel in with it, which is going to help bring the shape of the bag together. And then leave this wrong side out for now. All right. And then you can check to make sure you've not got any holes by kind of pressing your finger in to those seams. But then we'll set this aside for now. And we'll get the lining put together. I need a magnetic snap. I'll be so upset if I don't have a light gold one. I guess I could do a rainbow one. Who would care, you know? All right, I've got the side panel taped, but I need to add my 1/2 inch mark or I will forget. What? Hello, ma'am. What are you doing? Okay. Yay. Okay. We have it. Let's go ahead and add and change who we're listening to. All right, so this is our upper lining. We're going to add our magnetic snap. It does not matter the direction of your fabric because this is dead center. Do you need down here? Come down here then. You gotta lay down though. Or you can get out of here. Doesn't it? All right, we'll move those washers. Mark that hole. If you would like to, you could use some freight check. On those holes, but I think it'll be fine. You could also add a little bit of glue. I recommend Decaville Heavy for this stabilization. It'll add a lot of really good structure at the top as well. All right. So I will do the little slip pocket. What I'm gonna do is I have 1/4 inch double-sided tape on that. So I'm just gonna fold that on itself. I can't see. Oh, you do want pets? Girl, I never know with you. Oh, baby. Do you want? Okay. Okay. Is that what you want? Or no? Do you want out? Yes. Okay. Okay. And then depending on my material, I'll fold that down again, and I'll do that for this one. And then I'll stitch that down into place. You could add dividing lines to it if you wanted. I just like it to be one big slip pocket. There's that piece ready. Those are ready. Technically, these are ready. I'll go ahead and fold that down. We'll add our zipper pockets. Bottom's ready. I've already got it taped on. I am going to add a woven label. My little L signature. I'll top stitch that on. This bag really doesn't have enough room for the zipper pocket overlay. So if you're gonna do one, you could do a smaller one, but I know that this is gonna be right up against my seam allowance, and I just don't really care. I'm okay with it. So we're gonna tie that off. And then we're going to tie off our thread. And we'll cut away beautiful. All right, we're gonna add our zipper. Dorothy had this little shaker at school full of colored rice, and she broke it, and I said, you better not get this all over the house. And I mean, technically she didn't, but it's all over the basement. And I just threw away a little piece from the bin. It made me laugh. Because I should be mad, you know, but I'm not. It's colored rice. We'll clean it up. Luckily the cats don't really eat stuff they shouldn't. Okay. So I am squaring off my zipper tape. Come on. Melting that enough so that it sticks. There we go. So now that's ready for our zipper panel in a few minutes. So the lining is super simple in that way as well, which is nice. Oh, what is that? Is that from my hand? Oh well, you won't see it. So we're gonna baste our zipper to the top. Fabric is right side up, zipper is right side up. And repeat that for the other side. Fabric right side up, zipper right side up. All right. And then I will do a stitch line on the bottom first. And then we'll do a line at the top to connect it together. This is not turned through a zipper pocket, so we can just close that up when we're done. And we can center that whole panel, and we're going to trim away the excess. So one line across the bottom, long thread tails. Press that flat. I like to do this one layer at a time. Just find it's a lot easier. Okay. And then grab my thread. We're going to start where the other one ended, pivot, and pivot again. Pull those threads to the back. All right. So we're going to close the rest of it and trim the excess. So I'm just going to peel away. I also have this way longer than it needs to be, but it can be the full size of the panel. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to trim this even without cutting through our lining panel. That would be very bad. Trim that. Trim that. Easy peasy. Cute. And then I'm going to leave that unzipped in the middle so that I don't get the zipper pull caught anywhere it should not be. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to grab my zipper panel pieces. We're going to fold. Yeah, it's all on the wrong side. For the waterproof canvas light that I'm using, the right side has a bit of a sheen to it and the wrong side is more matte. If you can't tell, it's really not going to matter in the end, but it'll be better if you have it the correct way. All right, and now we'll add double-sided tape. Just a little piece where the zipper is going to go on all those pieces. And start, since I'm not using a printed fabric, it really is not going to matter what I start where. Just get it started. I do about 1/4 inch from the top edge. Grab my next piece. And if you have a lining and an exterior that you're doing differently, then make sure you grab the coordinating piece. And we're going to do right sides together. And a 3/8 to 1/4 inch seam allowance, starting about 1/8 of an inch from that folded edge and ending 1/8 of an inch from that folded edge. Back stitch both ways. And then I press one piece first, get a nice crease there, and then flip it, press it, crease it, top stitch it. repeating all those steps with the other side of the zipper. Pressing all of those nice and crisp. That's one thing I love about the waterproof canvas light, is how easy it is to give it a nice little crease. And then for the zipper out here, it's way longer than I really need it to be. So I'm just adding a clip. And then folding my zipper panel in half. Find the center. We're going to press this in the center, lining that up, and do a little top stitch. This pattern has a recessed zipper. It goes down into the bag. But we're ready to put this together, so let's do it. Really quick, I'm gonna add my bottom panel. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Start and stop at 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And I sewed through my zipper pocket. It's fine, it just keeps it in place, no big deal. And we're gonna add that upper lining. If you have a preference on which snap is on which side, go for it, otherwise it does not matter. This is a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're gonna press this flat and top stitch. Yes, 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 yes. This color is gorgeous. I think it's Blue Lily. Baby blue, maybe? I don't know. All right, so now we're gonna do that same little 3 by 1 line on this lining side. Now that side is done, and we're going to repeat on the other side. Lining up the center, baste, lining up all those pieces, 1/2 inch, whole way. So on the top, give it a haircut. Okay, bottom panel, everything gets attached fully. Like, there's nothing to leave open. You'll see. It's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, thought it was cool when I put it together. All right, so now we're gonna add the side panels. We still, on this side, wanna do our 3 by 1. Tuck that tail in, kind of slide this into place. Just keep it folded. Clips help. I will clip. There we go. We're going to sew this at about 1/8 of an inch from that top folded edge, 1/2 inch seam allowance, stopping at 1/2 inch and making sure that your bottom panel is kind of folded out of the way. Repeat on the other side. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. And then our bottom panel is already attached, and so is our side here, so we can just fold that in half and sew across that. I think if I were to redesign this pattern, I would change the seam allowance because 1/2 inch is quite a bit to trim away, but it is really nice to be able to have that much because of how tricky it can be to sew it. So I'm just kind of get used to it. And obviously I've made like 50 or more of this bag, so I'm quick to make it. All right, so across the bottom, and then we're going to trim things up. Okay, I'm going to tape my little 1x3 piece here. Okay. Okay, where is our slip pocket? Okay, slip pocket is on the other side. Keep that bulk at the top. And then for that slip pocket, I don't want to trim through where that is attached. All right. So there's that. We're going to fold that in to the side. So now we never turn this. Yes, we do. Yes. No. What? Yes, we do. Okay. Oh, it's just precious. It's so cute inside. I love it. All right, we're going to turn this. We've got everything folded. We've got things clipped if need be. This is a great time to check that you've caught all your corners. We're going to tuck the handles inside, and then I like my zipper pocket against the back of the bag. And then we're going to line up just this top edge. And this is where you can make an adjustment to your fold if need be. Kind of clip down here at the bottom. And we're going to sew across this top edge only that we're clipping at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, starting at about 1/8 and ending at about 1/8. Half inch seam allowance. Dang it, I heard it and I did nothing. Damn it. This vinyl is not one that can take holes with no thread. And it was the front. Okay. Let's see what we can do. All right, fingers crossed. Now we turn the bag through the big hole left here. So just kind of like start with your exterior. It's gonna crease. This vinyl is gonna crease. And there's nothing I can do about it, so I just have to accept it and hope for the best and go quick. It's okay. And honestly, this is why I don't interface this bag a lot when I make it. I just want to make sure I use a sturdy vinyl, but we'll see. And then a big part to this bag looking good is getting those corners poked out nicely. All right, well, it's actually not that creased. So I am shocked. All right, and then this all just gets pushed inside. You'll never see that giant mess I made. You're gonna fold the lining down on itself at the top there. Tuck all those threads in if you can. Didn't backstitch. Delicate. So what we want to do here is pull on both of those threads to bring everything back together. And when I top stitch it, it's not even gonna be an issue. But you want to pull both so that the tension is correct. Okay. Gotta backstitch them threads, man. It's no joke. Oh, this is the one I sewed twice. All right, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not terrible. But it could be that I didn't backstitch at the end because I was too scared. All right. If you need to add some tape, it's the side corners here that I recommend taping because things tend to slip. All right, I'm truly shocked this vinyl didn't just completely crease. So we'll see. Maybe I'll order some. Get in there. There we go. If your seam allowance was incorrect at any point, you'll know. Oh, you'll know. But otherwise, everything fits seamlessly. All right. And I'm just pressing. Oh my gosh, it didn't crease. How did it not completely crease? I'm shocked. Alright, this bow though, we gotta fix this. Okay, well the glue did well. I wonder if I could like heat it up. I'm going to press all those corners together. I just changed the bobbin. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, wrinkles did happen. But they almost just make it look like leather, but I could also be delirious. That could be. It's a zipper pocket, slip pocket, has a clip in it. That's why it's not sitting flat. All right. So if you trust yourself, you can top stitch it with the lining up. But if you're more worried about your exterior looking perfect, then focus on that. I like to start on the back, behind a handle. Watch out for your zipper panel. And I just kind of flatten it like this. And then 1/8 of an inch or so. Pivot. I'm making sure I pivot at the right spot. I'm making sure my zipper panel is out of the way. Always important to stop with your needle down as well, and I didn't. Dang it. Oh well. This bag is too cute to see all those little top stitch mistakes, hopefully. So it's fine. Pulling my threads in, and I'll tie off and burn them. And I've caught all my fabric, so there's that. That's good enough for me. There we go. Add the zipper end, and then I'll make the crossbody strap another day. I don't have the hardware here. You would think I would have hardware here, I just don't. Since my main focus is like tutorials and supplies, I don't keep all of my hardware fully stocked, so when I get these little whims, I have to wait. Okay, 10 out of 10, these color choices are so harmonious. Is that a word? Together. Sorry, guys. Okay. Zipper end. Playing with fire here because I normally put that on a magnet. This time I was like, it's fine. You can add glue to that if you would like, but that screw, in my opinion, keeps everything together. And that is my little Mickey balloon Valora. I give it a B+. Is it crooked? I don't know. Once it's full of stuff, it'll be fine, but I think this bag wears really cute as a backpack. You loop through here, you loop through that, and then you loop there, and I think like the distance between those is nice. The tailor tote that I made is not going to work as a backpack. I would have needed to add D-ring connectors to the bottom for sure. But I hope this was a fun little video for you to watch. I know it was fun for me to make. I love the slip pocket on the back, inside pockets, supreme. The only downside I've heard people say is they wish the zipper panel, like they don't like the open side pockets, but I don't have stuff that falls out of it. But I mean, if you're literally like doing this, then it's gonna fall out of the slip pockets too. So you know what bag is right for you, and I know what bag might be right for me. All right, bye guys.